Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is June 9th, 2025, and the time is 9:03 a.m. Can you hear me, Mr. West? Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can hear you. That's good. My name is Danny Barra, serving as your chairman today. My colleagues on today's panel are Mr. Tillis on my left, Ms. Stapleton on my right, Ms. Ledoux on Zoom, and Ms. Renatza on Zoom. Panel today is at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. DOC staff, please introduce yourself for the record.
Sure.
Today, our remote
Francis
location.
Abbott.
Today, our remote location is Morehouse Detention Center. Would the staff at Morehouse introduce themselves for the record? Nobody in there with you?
Yes, sir. Warren Stott.
Okay. And would you please introduce yourself with your full name and DOC number for the record?
Travis West. 511-795.
Okay. I'll give you a brief explanation of the process. I'm going to read some information, ask you to verify it. We're going to give you a chance to speak and tell us what you did to cause your incarceration, why you think you should be released. We're going to ask the warden from the facility to tell us anything they got to say. We're going to allow public comments from supporters and non-supporters, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview. Your case has been assigned to me, so I'm going to start out with the questions.
Yes, sir.
Today we have for parole consideration Travis West, DOC number 511795, who's a second felony offender, who was convicted of second-degree battery, attempted aggravated escape, battery of a police officer while in custody, and on January 30th, 2023, was sentenced to a total of 8 years in Webster Parish. You have a parole eligibility date of September 11th, 25. You have a good time date of June 25th, 26, and a full term date of 9/11/29. Does that sound correct to you, Mr. West?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now it's your turn to speak. Go ahead and tell us what you did to get yourself in trouble down there, and why do you think we should grant you early release today? Two separate questions.
I first committed a second-degree battery. I'm very remorseful for the victim, both physically and mentally, for the stress and heartache that I caused the victim in the situation that occurred. I take full responsibility for my actions. Now that I think back, that I made poor judgment in my decision making. I have learned that every decision I make has dire consequences attached, and I will, in future reference, stop, think, and have a better judgment of the judgments that I make. I was also charged with battery on an officer. I'm also very remorseful for the officer involved. I take full account for my actions. I made decisions without thinking them through at the time. The officer was just doing his job. As I look back on my poor judgment call, from now on, I will stop and assess the situation and think so I can make good judgment calls rather than quick judgment calls in the future. I also was charged with attempted escape. I was just, again, I'm remorseful for the officer involved. I made another quick judgment call that later on, if I'd have thought it through, I wouldn't have made the same decision. As I look back, I realized that I need to take more time to ensure I make the right judgment calls and situations, because it doesn't just hurt me, it also hurts the people around. The reason I think I should be granted is I've learned to, like I said, think more wisely on decisions that I make because they cause me more trouble thinking of quick decisions instead of thinking them through. Um, in general, I'm just remorseful for the people for the victims that I made, for the people that I made victims. My poor decisions that I made in the past, it's just I make quick decisions. And I've learned to slow down and think things through instead of just acting on impulse.
All right. Is any one of the warden, jail staff, or anybody listening to what's going on or can hear what's going on?
They're here. I don't know if they can hear what you're saying.
Would you go ahead and ask them if they have any input regarding this hearing, regarding your behavior or anything like that?
I don't know if you have any input. I got you.
The bar you see.
Well, I get.
Hello, yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I was trying to find out if you had any input as a correctional staff regarding his behavior or not lack of while he's there.
Yes, sir. We've not had any problems out of Travis. He is actually a trustee that works in our kitchen. Mr. West is very quiet. You don't even know he's there until you're looking for him, sir. And I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Travis West.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I also have a recommendation from my education teacher. She wrote it. Well, should I read it? What she wrote?
I think we have that. Go ahead. You can briefly summarize it.
Okay. Dear parole board members, I am Dorothy Wheeler, an education instructor at Morehouse Parish Detention Center, Colliston, Louisiana. I have known Travis West, a student in my class, for the past 2 years. During this time, Travis received his high school equivalence diploma and 3-level certificates in my computer class and participated in a job skill class. Additionally, he participated in risk management, phase 1. Travis demonstrated tremendous effort and growth throughout the time he was in my class. He also involved as a dedicated and hardworking student. He has the combination of a positive attitude and a belief that he can always improve. As I have talked with Travis, he is remorseful for his prior actions and very positive about his future upon leaving prison. He is a good person and not likely to reoffend or violate parole terms. I wholeheartedly believe that this young man deserves a second chance.
Thank you. All right. Looking at, we don't have anyone here to testify in support, but we do have Mr. Brian Bass, who's gonna be with us through Zoom. He's a former Webster Parish deputy who was involved as a. Mr. Bass, would you tell us what you have to say about it?
All I can go by is the event of that day. I know that in that event, he exited the holding cell, and what began was a very long fight in the booking area between me and him, where this guy had I mean, at one point in time, hit me in the head with a phone. The only thing I was thinking about through that fight was that I needed to stay conscious because there was a female in the area, and he did at one time stun me and get to this female and put a taser to her head. If this taser would have went off hitting her in the head, she'd have died. that's all I was thinking about through that fight was I had to stay conscious. I had to keep going. And what I saw in that fight with him, he absolutely wasn't stopping. I sprayed him. He kept coming, and I just, I saw too much in him that day. That if he's changed in the very recent past, I can't say anything to that because he hasn't been near me in that time. All I can go by is what happened on that day. That
He
wasn't
did
very long ago.
his hands on a female deputy, didn't he?
Yeah, he got up to her, pretty much had her in a headlock and was trying to wrestle the taser out of her hand and to her head. At which time I came behind him and got him in a headlock and was trying to chicken wing his hand away from her head, keep him from tasing her. I was doing everything I could to try to get him to drop the taser. Had another deputy come in, grab the other side of him. We took him down to the ground, was able to restrain him.
This person. Yeah, okay.
What started the fight?
It began in the booking area. I opened the holding cell. I was supposed to put him in a paper gown. When I opened that holding cell, I guess he had it in his mind at that point in time it was time to leave. He muscled his way clean past me and shot for the door. I had the, me and my staff had the sense to have them doors locked so he couldn't get out without he couldn't escape. He attempted to pick up a phone and call somebody. He couldn't figure out how to call out, at which time, like I say, me and Travis West completely destroyed the booking area. We're talking, we tore up equipment, computers, phones, copying machine, everything got destroyed in our fight.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Bass from the board?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, we also have law enforcement opposition, strong opposition, where the district attorney's office has replied they're opposed, the sheriff's office is opposed to release, the chief of police is opposed to release, and the attorney general is also opposed to release. Have you completed any anger management classes while you incarcerated?
No, sir, they don't have it here. Every class that they have available, I have taken. I even tried to go to another facility to take more classes, but I was unable. I wrote DOC trying to get to other classes, but they say it's specifically up to the facility to move me to places that have better class.
I see that you've been arrested like 12 times for 20 charges, 10 of them against a person fighting or something like that. You had 5 periods of supervision previous. At least 2 of them have been revoked. What happened during those probations to get you revoked, and why do you think if we give you another chance that it will be different?
The first one, I have been on probation. I missed a meeting and she revoked me. The second one I caught, it was a misdemeanor, but she revoked me on it also, on my second one. I think it was a 6-month probation. And if I was younger at the time, I have 3 girls now that I put my first one through college before I got into jail. My second one she's about to graduate, and they're the reason I wouldn't get into no more trouble. This here was a mistake. It's my fault. I take complete I don't blame no one else but me in the situation. It's just I've learned better, and I I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize me not being with my kids. I learned that me being away with them it's more important to be with them than anything else.
How many years have you been in jail?
3.5.
On an 8-year sentence?
Yes, sir. Well, it's right at 4, I think. It's right at 4.
All right, and where do you plan on living if we were to let you go?
Uh, for now, at my mom's house. Until I get a job, I'm planning for my job. I have welding. I'm welding certified. I'm also heavy equipment certified. I would go for my welding first because that's the most years I have in job situations in Louisiana. I have heavy equipment jobs, but I wouldn't be able to do them because they're out of state. I don't have that many heavy equipment jobs here, but I have a good welding background in Louisiana. I have a 90% chance of getting hired at the place I was before I came here, Clement Industries. I plan on staying with my mom first till I get on my feet, start my welding career back, and I want to go back to school for respiratory therapy. Uh, that's my goal. Take night classes once I get hired in the day. I also have taken a CDL class. I took the written part, but I wasn't able to complete the driving part. So I'm going to pursue that too. It's like having a backup to any situation I have. If my day job quit, I still will have my CDL to fall back on until I finish school and respiratory therapy.
And your mother is Tracy West?
Yes, sir.
Or is she aware that you want to live with her when you get out?
Yes, sir.
According to the parole officer, they've tried to contact him numerous times, and she never returns calls, and she doesn't tell him anything like what you're saying.
She's older. If they could go by or I can call her. She even does it when I call it. The phone rings, it goes to voicemail. And she's older and she has cancer, so she don't really answer the phone a lot. I have to call several times in a day to get her to answer the phone. But she's always at home. If they could go by, she would tell you that she knows I plan on staying with her.
All right, that's all the questions I had. Do any of the board members have questions?
Yeah, what caused the fight with you and the officers?
It evolved from the first situation, the fight that I had before I went to jail. I was in when I was incarcerated, they put me around it was the family members that I actually what got me into it in the first place, that got me in the holding cell. I told the guards at the facility that I couldn't live around these people. They told me they didn't have nowhere else to put me but there. So they put me there anyway. And I eventually got into it with them. They started throwing urine at my cell. That's when Mr. Bass came and got me out of the cell and put me in the holding cell. When he opened the door and let me out for I guess he said would put me on the ground. My quick poor judgment was to try to tell the lady officer that they was making threats against my family. And I was thinking at the time, before I even thought about it, I was thinking a woman will understand how I feel about threats with kids. And as I look back on it, it was the wrong thing to do because I came out, I ran toward her trying to tell her, which as I look back, it looks as an aggressive move. But that was not my intentions. Even though it was wrong, I admit, because as I look back at it, I would think the same thing. But that was not the case. And grabbing the phone, I did grab the phone. I was trying to, like I say, I made a wrongful, quick judgment. I consider myself calling if I can call my kid's mother to tell her she would take precautions, which as I look back, it, it I was totally thinking about my kids and not how it looks. Because as I look back at it, it looks totally wrong. Well, me running toward the guard, it looks like I'm aggressive, but I wasn't. I was just trying to let her know my side of the story. And grabbing the phone, howling out, which at the time it makes sense because I was trying to worried about my kids. But as I look back, that was a wrong decision. And if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would do it totally different. But my kids are my world, and at the time, poor judgment again, but I felt like I was doing the right thing. But
Questions?
Ms. Renats, any questions? Ms. Ledoux, any questions? You look like she's talking. Though. What's she saying?
You sound like you said no. No questions asked again? No questions. Will do.
No questions? All right, with no more questions, the board's now ready to vote. I'll vote first, and looking at this case, you haven't really served enough time for the crimes you committed against a woman and law enforcement. You got a good time date coming right around the corner of June 25th and 26th, which is more appropriate in my opinion. You have strong law enforcement opposition from the sheriffs and the DAs and attorney generals. We have opposition from the victims of the crime, and you committed a violent crime against law enforcement and women. All of those statements considered, I vote to deny your parole request today. Ms. Stapleton,
I concur with Mr. Barra.
Mr. Tillis,
Mr. Travis, I think you need to get some more anger management and some more classes. My vote today is going to be to deny also.
Ms. Renatson.
Yeah, Travis, I'm real pleased to hear what the staff there said about you and that you did your GED and you seem to be on the right path. I do agree with Mr. Barra, however, based on your history of violence, your history of revocation, and the strong law enforcement opposition, my vote today is to deny your parole. But keep going, keep your head up.
yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ledoux.
Mr. West, I'm pleased with your awareness of what you've done wrong. I would love to see you be able to get your pre-release and some other anger management classes, and I hope that staff is listening and reads this report, that they will decide to move you where you can get that, but my vote is also to deny.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. West. That's a unanimous decision. Today, your parole has been denied, but you do have a good time date coming up shortly. So good luck to you. This will conclude our business today at 9:26 a.m. at Morehouse Detention Center.
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me? The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is June 9th, 2025. My name is Danny Barra, serving as your chairman today. Can you hear me, Mr. Gaines?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. My colleagues on today's panel are Mr. Tillis to my left and Ms. Stapleton to my right. The panel today is at headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is Orleans Parish Prison. Is there any staff members in the room with you? Would they please introduce themselves for the record? Any staff members from Orleans with you in the room? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Or any staff members from Orleans in the room with you?
All right. No, man, no, sir.
Okay, all right. We don't need them actually. Mr. Gaines, would you please introduce yourself by stating your full name and your DOC number for the record?
Yes, good morning, my board members. My name is Victor Gaines, DOC number 106774.
All right. Do you have a parole revocation questionnaire in front of you, a sheet that you signed about talking about appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on it?
Yes, sir.
And they determined that you were not eligible for appointed counsel. So we will go ahead and proceed with this revocation hearing without appointed counsel also. I'm going to read to you the violation that are alleged against you and ask you for a plea to each one. You're going to respond either guilty, guilty with the statement, not guilty, or not guilty with the statement. It means you can explain a guilty plea or a not guilty plea. You can explain everything. But for the beginning of it, we're just going to ask you to be guilty or not guilty and go to the next one. And then Mr. Tillis is going to go into each violation with you individually. So the first violation alleged to have committed is that you engage in criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest of 2/11/25 by probation and parole for a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a alleged drug without a prescription, possession of marijuana. The docket master for that docket number, which indicates that the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of alleged drug without a prescription and possession of marijuana were refused on 3/6/25. How do you plead to that charge?
I'll plead, guilty with the statement.
All right. And you also have a second violation of number 4. It says, in addition to that, you were booked in Orleans Justice Center. You were booked under a Jefferson charge issued for the offense of theft less than 100 and an offense date of 6/16/24. And Jefferson issued on 7/29/24 the offense of theft again with an offense date of 1/1/24. And Jefferson issued warrant again on 6/18/24 for the offense of theft less than 100 with an offense date of 10/8/22. All of those theft charges are still pending. So I'm corrected. It's less than 1,000, not less than 100. These charges are all still pending. How do you plead to that group of charges?
I'll plead not guilty, with a statement.
All right. And you also that you violated condition number 10, that you failed to make any payments toward your parole supervision fee, and you're currently in arrears $8,127 as of April 30th, 25, with no amount listed as being paid towards the supervision fee balance. How do you plead to condition number 10, failing to pay fees?
Not guilty with a statement.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn the hearing over to Mr. Tillis, and he's the lead person. He's going to review those violations with you and continue the hearing. We'll let the attorneys. Oh, well, they come after.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Gaines. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Fine.
Okay, you pled rule number 4, violation number 4, guilty with a statement. What's your statement?
I'm sorry, could you refresh?
I see violation number. You pled guilty with a statement. You want to make your statement now?
That dealt with which one in particular? Aside from the number, the substance of it, real briefly.
It says you have engaged in a criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest on 2/11/2025 by probations and parole for the charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of a alleged drug without prescription and possession of marijuana. And you pled guilty with the statement.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that. As indicated on my hearing and recommendation form on the second page, it's noted that I called my parole officer, Mr. Goins, the day prior to, and told him I had two things I needed to discuss with him. One was that I needed to go to rehab, and what was holding me up is that I had allowed a couple to live in one of my spare bedrooms just to help them out, and they was paying me, but they wasn't ready to leave, and I didn't want to involve the police because all they was going to say is that it's a civil matter, and I felt like the best way was to inform my parole officer, and we had talked, and he said he would come over the next day to help me, because I told him that I believe also that the guy possibly was on parole. So they came over and they told him that they had to leave, but the couple, they took the parole officer outside and told him that I'd be engaging in drug activity, or using drugs, you know. I called him over there for that purpose because I was tired of the life that I was living, and I wanted to tell on myself. I wanted to be accountable, and I wanted to go to rehab. And he said that he would recommend that, although I found out later that he overspoke that he couldn't do that. I didn't feel no need to run around the house and try to clean up everything because, you know, I was at my end. I was ready to take account of my actions. But he brought me here. I thought he would say something like, "You got 48 hours to report to rehab." You know, as it turned out, this was the best thing for me. I needed this. It gave me the time, even more so, to work on myself and think through some things. And I will share that with you later on when I'm able to give a final statement. But just to move along, that's my statement right there. It was just a little small amount of marijuana that he minuscule.
So you did have, you were in possession of marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Violation number 4 with the theft. You said not guilty with the statement.
The theft charges, well,
Yes.
I live on the East Bank, and the theft charges was on the West Bank. There was some issues with the getting back and forth, getting to court. I spoke with someone on the phone from Jefferson Parish, and we were supposed to be setting a new court date. And there was some talk about me, another issue, just talk about me going to rehab to resolve all that. So I never actually had my a day in court, and all of that was supposed to be dismissed, contingent upon successful completion of rehab. So that was, as it is, pending.
Okay. And you're in the rear of $8,127, and you pled not guilty to that. What's happening?
Because I was informed, I don't know if the record indicate that, I've had several parole officers, and even because initially when I was released from custody, I was in an interstate compact in Mississippi. I was always told that by me being on a fixed income, you know, don't worry about that. You can always do community service. And I was always told that I would not have just ignored the fees all this time. They told me about me being on a fixed income that I wasn't required. Although the parole officer supervisor that did the hearing, she said she never heard of such thing, but I was told that several times.
Who told you that?
At least the officer in Mississippi and one or two of the parole officers here. I don't remember all their names, but they said, because they said there's always community service, and you see, I have been to the daily reporting center one time. I think that was the what I was ordered to do in lieu of the fees.
Okay. What kind of community services were you doing?
Excuse me?
What kind of community services were you doing?
I said I could do community service, but I never was ordered to do community service. Now, the closest thing that I was doing, I had to report to the daily reporting center back in approximately 3 years ago. But I have no problem paying the fees if that would resolve that issue. But I was always under the understanding that by me being, you know, on disability, being disabled, I would on a fixed income I didn't have to pay.
Okay. You want to let the attorney, does the attorney want to speak last, or does she want to say something now?
I can speak. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for taking your time and consideration to look over Mr. Gaines' case. My name is Kaylin Gross. I'm an attorney with the Orleans Public Defender's Office, which is how I came to know Mr. Gaines. Ultimately, what we'll be asking this board to do today is to not revoke Mr. Gaines, to release him back on parole, and to require that he attend some sort of treatment for substance abuse. And the reason I'm asking that is because I firmly believe that that is the root of the issue. And I firmly believe that with OPD's continued support, which we can provide, we can get Mr. Gaines back on track. So to begin, you heard one of the first words that came out of Mr. Gaines' mouth when he started to make his statement is that he wants to go to rehab. This is not a new ask. This is not a get out of jail free card. This is something that he has brought up repeatedly with his parole officers, what my understanding is. And I believe when it comes to substance abuse, it's something that's incredibly familiar to a lot of people, whether a friend, a family member, or even yourself experiences it. And through that familiarity, you learn that progress is not always linear. It takes a lifelong commitment to handle substance abuse. And I believe that Mr. Gaines has that commitment, but what makes this ask different from any of the previous asks before? I believe it's significant, this ask, because now he is connected with OPD. Now, that's significant for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, OPD maintains connections to a lot of treatment facilities. We have connections with several outpatient facilities, with two of which that I've listed in the letter of support that I submitted to the board. We also maintain connections with inpatient facilities. We have already referred Mr. Gaines to LARC and to Breaking Chains. Both of those are inpatient treatment facilities. Both of those, I've included a letter from those facilities in the packet that I submitted, confirming that they have the resources available and are willing to enter into treatment with Mr. Gaines when he is released. We were planning on having a gentleman from Breaking Chains speak here today. I don't know if he's having tech issues, but I can provide that both LARC and Breaking Chains provides not only short-term treatment, but opens the door to long-term treatment options as well. Additionally, Mr. Pierce, who is Mr. Gaines' client advocate with our client services division, can speak more on this. But when a client's legal matter concludes with OPD, that doesn't mean that our involvement concludes. The client services division offers maintain continued support with our clients, even when their legal matter concludes. I believe that this will help with compliance, and this will help with getting Mr. Gaines on track and keeping him there. Additionally, something that's different is Mr. Gaines, to my understanding, has never attended treatment at a DOC rehab facility. This is a path, if the board believes that it is appropriate, this is a path that he has not had the chance to go down in the past. Just to briefly touch on the allegation number 4 or violation number 4, the JP matters, as Mr. Gaines stated, these are open matters. He has not had his day in court to address these allegations against him. With regard to the Orleans matters, the district attorney had an opportunity to look over Mr. Gaines' case and screen it for a month. Ultimately, they decided that they wanted to refuse these charges and not move forward with prosecution. The screening action form that I included in the packet states why. It states that his case is not suitable for prosecution. Now, as a defense attorney, I can't make heads or tails of why the district attorney makes some of the decisions that they do, but I hope that this time we both came to an understanding that prolonged incarceration or prosecution for why we're here, that will not address the root of the issue. And so we're asking that OPD be allowed to use our resources, our connections, our support to address the root of the issue, to address the substance abuse. So please do not revoke Mr. Gaines' parole. Please release him back on parole, and please require that he attend some sort of substance abuse treatment. Thank you.
I got a question. When I reviewed the narratives from the probation and parole file, I see that he attended multiple substance abuse treatment classes before. He attended the day reporting center, and he attended DOC treatment before, but he was violated every time in every program he's ever been. So I took note of that, and I was going to ask him about that, but what's going to be different now? I think you said the only thing different is that got some other support system that thinks that they can do something with him this time.
That's correct. Mr. Pierce, he can provide, sorry?
He's been through everything that probation and parole and DOC has to offer and failed. And I quit counting. I don't know if you said you didn't know to count either. I quit counting. It's not 1, 2, or 3 times. It's more than that.
I understand. I don't believe this may have been a misunderstanding while we had the preliminary hearing. It's not my understanding that Mr. Gaines has been to a DOC treatment facility before. I don't know if that's information that y'all have access to, but it is my understanding that that stone has been left unturned. But again, I would argue that the compliance issue, Mr. Pierce can speak more about his continued involvement with my former clients, but OPD's continued involvement with Mr. Gaines' case, continued support that will assist in keeping him compliant with whatever solution that the board thinks is appropriate, whether it's going down one of these paths or even a combination of the 3.
Thank you. And I don't know if this question's for you or for Mr. Pierce, but does the OPD offer inpatient treatment, or it's all outpatient?
So we have referrals to outpatient treatment facilities. We have connected Mr. Gaines with inpatient treatment facilities, one of those being LARC and one of those being Breaking Chains, the 2 letters confirming that he will be able to receive treatment at those places are included within the packet.
Thank you.
Okay. Terry Pierce. We have Terry Pierce. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
You know, Mr. Pierce.
How y'all doing? Mr. Gaines is, excuse me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I've been working with Mr. Gaines for a little period of time, and I've also known him years ago. Mr. Gaines is facing a lot of time if he's being revoked. And Mr. Gaines has been only a threat to himself with the substance problem. And we have intensive programs now that OPD is connected to. So it is our desire to try to do a hands-on work with him. And Mr. Jim Frucell, the owner of Breaking Chains, really have a program that's intensive and that will work with him. And this would be something new for Mr. Gaines. This would be a program where he would have to be enrolled and housed into their program and follow strict rules, basically rules that are more intensive than incarceration. He would have to follow many guidelines to make sure that he's doing what is right to help him with his problem. Mr. Gaines is partially paralyzed. He suffered a stroke, and he's 61 years old. I mean, he's only a threat to himself. Mr. Gaines is not out here violating the laws where he's causing the community to be harmed, you know, and what we're trying to do is help him, not punish him. He's never had anyone to support him like we are trying to do right now. And that's the intensive part of, the program. OPD have several organizations that's working along with us to help people with situations like Mr. Gaines. Mr. Gaines is not, as he went to prison for when he was younger, this charges that he's facing now, or the things that he's been going through now, has a lot to do with his substance use, his drinking problem, and things of that nature. Mr. Gaines needs help. Mr. Gaines doesn't need to be incarcerated and punished and going through the state providing and paying for his incarceration. We ask that this board please consider giving him an opportunity to try this program. If Mr. Gaines is a continued problem, then we know the alternative then. If he don't progress through this program here and does something with his life from this point forward, then we understand that Mr. Gaines deserves to be sent to prison. But right now, I think Mr. Gaines never had any help like he has behind him right now today, such as our organization, Breaking Chains, LARC, and there are several others. We could have tried Crescent Care, which he's been through before. And like you say, he never completed these programs because he was never housed there. He was not an inpatient. This time we looking to make him as an inpatient.
How much time will you be spending with him?
Excuse me?
How much time will you be spending with him with this program?
Well, I will stay in touch with him. Breaking Chains is located in Baton Rouge area, and LARC is somewhere around the Hammond area. These organizations are going to have him in a housing area where if he does not follow the curfews, the programs, and the rules and regulations that are governed by those programs, the parole officer or whomever is responsible for the parole board will be notified. And Mr. Gaines will be in a situation that he's in right now, and he will not have our support. If he doesn't follow what's going on in these programs, then we have no, it's just that he doesn't want to do right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Is Mr. Fusel, is he? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Fusel. Yes.
My name is Jim Fusel. I own Breaking Chain Structure Limited, and we're out of Baton Rouge locally. We consist of multiple homes. We have 8 men's homes and 1 ladies' home. Our emphasis is on structured living. Our focus is addiction and alcohol recovery, and we make sure everybody is compliant. We have strict rules, curfews. If they're able to work, they must work. They have to have a sponsor relationship. They have to attend their Sunday night house meeting. And if for any reason they're not in compliance at all, or if they slip for any reason, the communication with parole, we report in. We do random drug screens, scheduled drug screens, make sure they're compliant, not slipping, and following the protocol that we enforce in our program. We're here to help any and everybody that needs help. Less of information, don't care if y'all need to wait, but our emphasis is drug and alcohol addiction recovery. We have had several people presently in our past that have been mandated by the courts in our program. We have a direct relationship with a lot of probation officers and facilities, and they come by routinely to check on our individuals and make sure they're in compliance. That's our focus, make sure they're moving forward in a great program. We do believe in treatment. If it's your wish, we do believe that as much treatment as possible. I'm not sure if this Gaines ever been to a minimum 28-day treatment facility. Most of our members that come to us go through 28-day intensive inpatient treatment before they come to us. That would be obviously y'all's decision.
Yeah. After the 28 days, what happened?
Typically, in a normal situation, a 28-day treatment center will call us and tell us they have a candidate. They'll give us the background and make sure that we do a screening on them, because certain things, sometimes they're prescribed certain medications for narcotic nature that we cannot accommodate them. Both men, we just want to get a feel for their background, their history, and so forth. Most of our men and women do have felony records. The only people we cannot accommodate are those that have sexual offense felonies. we're surrounded by churches and schools. We share with us through that area of our homes are. So we have schools and churches and neighbors, some quiet neighbors. That's the only place we can accommodate. Very strict presence in our community. But coming back to your question, 28 days, they come in, they transform to us. We do an interview process when they get here. We give them all our rules and regulations that agree to them, we sign off with them. And then we do have a live-in manager that we send to the house.
And it's only for 28 days?
No, my program is long as it will stay.
Okay.
But I'm talking about free.
Okay, I got you.
We have a gentleman now who's been with us for 3 years.
I got you. Yeah,
So how long would you plan on keeping him in your program?
As long as he's working the program, working the steps, in compliance with our rules and regulations, he can stay as long as he likes. We had one gentleman that was with us for 7 years, and he passed. He was an elderly gentleman, but he stayed with us the duration of his life. But, we're very strict about staying in compliance with their therapy and meetings or AA meetings, the structure. If they're not, we address it. If they continue to not comply, then we'll part ways and of course, if they're mandated to report, we will go through the proper channels.
You've already screened him. He's eligible for your program?
No, we haven't screened him yet, but we will if it's your recommendation for the country.
Who does the 28-day program that precedes y'all getting them?
There's several. They mentioned the park as an example. We have relationships with probably 40 different treatment centers throughout the state, and all there's several here in Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, everywhere. And some of the programs, I say minimum 28. Some of them have 90-day programs, even longer. But the reason it's 28 days, Medicaid will pay up to 28 days, and other insurance will pick up after that. That's why it's considered a 20-day program. But they're all over the state.
What if insurance doesn't pick up? What if they're not covered by Medicaid or Medicare?
That's up to the treatment center. Most of the treatment centers, they do have a number of cases per that they'll take in for free. We do the same thing. We have individuals that aren't able to pay, and we help them and figure out resources for them. We just don't put anybody on the street.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr.
Yeah, we'll do this, by the way.
Yeah, we get it. Mr. Gaines, how long were you incarcerated?
About 21 years.
And did you receive any type of treatment while you were incarcerated?
No, sir.
Did you try?
No, sir, because I didn't really think I had a problem. I was in the Word of God, and that's one of the. Can I say something first? There's a misinformation in there. All the programs I've ever attended, I've successfully completed. I don't know where the misunderstanding came in there, and those were programs that I initiated. But if I may have a minute or two, I've always been in the Word of God, and I guess I got out and I'm feeling that. I felt like after 20 years, everything was going to be all right. I got out, and I guess, God has shown me these last 4 months, I got out feeling that, it's hard to say that I felt like a sense of entitlement, like life or society owed me something. And when the job didn't come through as it's supposed to, and other things wasn't working out, I guess I hit the easy button. I started using, drinking, not facing my problems, really living a selfish life. And that's really what addiction is. It's a self-created, selfish life. Just worrying about myself instead of dealing with life on life's turn. I took the easy way out. And I see that the answer to that now is to look to others. I want to complete this program, and to use a trite saying, I feel like the scales has really fallen off my eyes this time.
Okay, good. Any other questions?
How did you complete the day reporting center? How did that go?
It went fine. Actually, I have to go on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. Then I believe I had something happened to stop me from going. I think over the holidays, I was arrested for a theft charge.
But that's not going fine when you're in the program and you get arrested. You're not supposed to be arrested while you're in the program.
No,
Come here and tell us you're completing programs. You might as well just accept what's going on and not come in here and try to bullshit us. I know what happened. All right, so that's all into my questions for that. Okay, all right. All the questions. All right, we ready to vote. Mr. Tillis, you're the first guy.
Mr. Gain, I'm gonna vote do not revoke pending that you get into the program with breaking change etiquette. That'll be your last chance with me.
All right. Ms. Stapleton?
Mr. Gaines, I heard what everything was said, that you tried many times to be a part of different programs and you've not completed any all these years. Even through, DOC and outside of DOC. And then you got arrested for other offenses. So my vote today is going to be to revoke.
Mr. Gaines, I believe that you're still in denial about what's going on and coming here trying to buffalo us. But I do believe that you have a great option here with all these people trying to help you too, which could be the difference, like she said, than what you've had in the past. It's time for you to accept what you've done, be responsible for it, and make the changes. I'm going to go ahead and vote with Mr. Tillis. And I'm going to order that you complete the 28-day inpatient with LARC, followed by a 1-year minimum treatment at Breaking Chains. If you don't complete LARC, if you don't complete a year at Breaking Chains, count your days, because the next time you're going back for the whole rest of your sentence. Miss Stapleton would like to reconsider.
Yeah, I'm going to reconsider my vote and go along with Mr. Tillis and Mr. Ballwright. Give you another chance.
yes, thank you. But can I ask you a question? What?
Don't hang yourself. Don't hang yourself.
No, I wanna see, because I'm trying to help myself. When you say I'm in denial, what gave you an indication of that?
We'll just end the hearing right now. This concludes our business today with Mr. Gaines, and we will adjourn at 10:23 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. This is Luke Parker with the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office.
Sir, Mr. Langston. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we can hear you. Good, good. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the record.
Yes, this is Lieutenant Parker Crockett with the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office, and I'm at Caddo Correctional Center.
And Deputy Davis classification at CCC Cattle Correction.
Yes, Mr. Okay. All right, today's date is June 9th, 2025. The time is 10:46. My name is Danny Barra, serving as your chairman today. My colleagues on the panel are Mr. Tillis to my left and Ms. Stapleton to my right. The panel today is at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. And our remote location is the Caddo Correctional Center. We have Mr. Armani Langston. Would you please introduce yourself and state your full name and DOC number for the record?
My name is Malik Langston, retired military, do not currently have my DOC number on me.
Do you have a parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
No, sir. It was not sent to the jail.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Is that your signature on the bottom there? Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that was used at your preliminary hearing to
Yes,
determine that we're not eligible for appointed counsel.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. You ready to proceed again at this parole hearing?
Yes, sir.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the violations against you and ask you to plead guilty or not guilty with a statement or without a statement for each, well, you only have one violation, and that is violation number 4. It says on or about May 7th, 2025, you committed the misdemeanor offense of simple assault. This charge is an intentional misdemeanor directly affecting the person. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Have you been to court on that charge yet?
Yes, sir. I've completed the court.
And what happened there?
I was sentenced to 20 days and then sent here after 7 days of waiting.
20 days? All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn the hearing over to Ms. Stapleton. She's the lead person in your case who's going to review that violation with you and ask any questions that might be needed.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Langston, we had a videotape that your mother had taken, and I was able to watch that. Do you remember that day?
Of course.
Okay. All right. Well, when the officer viewed the videotape, he indicated that there was tension between Ms. Lowry and yourself, and because there were strangers in the yard. Things seemed to calm down at one point, and Mr. Langston became irate. The video audio captured Mr. Langston telling Ms. Lowry that he was going to slap her and beat the F out of her, calling her names and threatening to shoot up the house. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Is that what you're pleading guilty to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so the summary is that the evidence proved that there was proof of your violation of number 4, reflecting the severe threats of the violence made during the incident. So you are in violation of your parole. Do you have anything you'd like to? I wanted to ask you, there was mentioned that you were working on your master's degree in psychology.
Yes, ma'am.
What's good? What university are you attending?
I was planning on attending Langston University after I complete my LA Tech and Grambling State dual enrollment.
Okay, and you said you're retired military, and I overheard that. Is that National Guard?
Yes, ma'am. 7 years.
7 years. Were you sent overseas?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I also read that you take medicine for PTSD and ADHD. Is that true? And are you on your medication there?
Medicine for I do not take medicine. I've been diagnosed. I do not take medicine other than medically grade marijuana.
Oh, okay. All right. Your mother, she is, said that she'd like to speak. Is she on Zoom? Yes, I see her. Would you like to speak, ma'am, Ms. Lowry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
My hope is I've been dealing with this for the last 4 or 5 years, and he did good for a little while, and he got a job and he got his own place. Money has mental issues going on, and I believe some drug addiction. I don't feel like him just going in and out of jail is solving the problem. If I would hope that my hope is that he can get some mental help as well as help with his drug addiction. Because that is not him. Money is very soft spoken. Who he is today is not the child that I know. He's a very humble child. So I know there's something mentally and it has to do with his mental state and his drug addiction. Because normally you wouldn't even be able to hear him talk because he's so soft spoken.
Yes,
his whole voice has changed. That ain't even his tone of voice. So if y'all could help me help him, because he feel like he don't need any help. And I've been begging and pleading with him, and I did all the footwork the first time to try to get him where he needed to be, and try to get him to, utilize going. The Dr. Wilkinson used to come out. I got him to go to the mental health thing on her, but after when he was going to court in Ruston, after they deemed him suitable to stand trial, and Dr. Wilson went up there and testified that he was sane enough to stand trial, he stopped doing whatever he needed to do. But Armani was a psychology major, so he knows exactly what to say in order to get where he needs to be. He's very smart. And if y'all can help me get my son back, that's all I want. But this person here is not my son. He's physically my son, but mentally, emotionally, and he's not.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I know you love your son, and I know he loves you too, and there's problems going on there. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to ask for an executive session, please.
Second.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, the board is called back to order. We are looking, there's no further people wishing to speak, either in favor or in opposition. The board has found Mr. Langston guilty of the violation he was charged with. So we will go ahead and move on to the vote. Ms. Stapleton, you have the lead vote.
Okay, my vote today, Mr. Langston, is going to be to revoke you and request that you're sent to our DOC facility Hunt, and there for you to get a mental health and substance abuse evaluation and to get any necessary treatment, any treatment deemed necessary by the staff there.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tillis?
I concur.
And I concur also. Mr. Langston, this means that today your parole has been revoked and that they're gonna transfer you from the place where you're at to Hunt Correctional to have a mental evaluation, substance abuse evaluation, and hopefully get your problems worked out, and then we'll work on your release after that.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you. Today, this concludes our business at Caddo Correctional Center at 10:56 a.m.
You have a
I
blessed.
love you, son.
Love you too, mama.